what is this chant? And what does it mean? And
okay, so namyohorengekyo. So nam comes from namu, which you'd be familiar with, which is devotion.
yeah,
Myohorengekyo is, and it can be, I'm trying to keep this simple.
sure.
So myoho is mystic, renge is cause and effect.
Okay.
It's like the lotus flower lives in a muddy swamp,
Yes.
but it can't blossom without the mud. So that's sort of a way of representing life. And then ho is a sound. So you can have books and books on what namyohorengekyo means, but basically it's been said that it's the sound of the universe that's depicted in this phrase. See if I'm going to do this as simply as I can. And all teachings are contained within it.
Okay.
But it's more about it being a vibration than anything. So there's so much more. I could never tell you what it means other than that, these are what the phrases say. But it's the doing it. Like when you're chanting it and you're doing it with a group of people, it has a frequency of its own.
Okay.
So I have this kind of scientific way of trying to explain Buddhism because people like it better than the traditional. And it's and I kind of got it from a TED Talk that was explaining that everything in life has a frequency.
Right.
So no matter what, whether you see it or not, everything is moving, right? So when you have, say you're negative, you have a low frequency, you constantly attract things at at that frequency. So when shit goes down, and then you see, I knew that was going to happen, and it happens.
Yeah.
Because you're attracting things at that frequency. When you chant namyohorengekyo, what you do is you raise your frequency. And when you raise your frequency, you start attracting things at a higher frequency. So what you're doing is you have a way of exerting yourself to be able to attract the universal sound, wave, whatever.
Sure.
And that's, so namyohorengekyo is the highest, is the teaching of everything, of being in sync with the universe. So you can think about it as planets, and I often, when I chant, think about being out in the universe, and I'm part of it. We all have our own way of doing things, and none of these are taught. They're just things that come to you. But doing it frequently, you raise your frequency. That's why the change in perception, because you're drawing things to you differently. So it gives you the power to change your life. So it's human, and it's not like I do it all the time. I'm not a perfect. We're not doing this so that we live happily ever after. It's this is just a portion of it.
Right.
And I screw up all the time. Like I can be judgmental. I have a big ego. I can be negative. But I am self-aware.
Right.
And so that's what's taken years to come. And I can sort of perceive things, or kind of, people come and they're struggling. I can perceive their problem in a different way. And without telling them what to do, maybe indicate to them another way of looking at it, which motivates them to want to chant, because most people don't want to.
Right.